What's up, Outcast family? I'd like to welcome everybody to the first Outcast Racing podcast. My name is Josh Brumfield, driver number 12, aka Poor Boy. And today, Anthony is here in Georgia with me, driver number 81, aka Peanuts. Anthony, could you give us a little bit of history on Outcast Racing League?
Sure. So, Outcast Racing League was started a few years ago with myself, uh, you, Josh Bromfield, Wayne Garland, James Garland, and Joshua Benton. We were all on a team in another league. Um, our team name was Wild Aces, and that's where we all started our iRacing careers. And we grew to become admin in that group, and you know all the admins weren't on the same team, but there was a couple of us, and one of our team members had gotten into an altercation on track with the owner of the league, and the owner of the league didn't like it and ended up kicking that driver out of the league. And the five of us as a team decided if one of us is going, we're a team, we're going to stick together. We all left and decided that we would start our own league, and that's where Outcast Racing League came about. Since then, we've run 7 successful seasons, and I feel like each year we grow as a league. Each year we grow our core group of drivers, so there's more and more added to it every year or every season. We've got people that have followed us from that other league to come race with us now here at Outcast, which is great. Again, core drivers, they'll be there every season. And now we're getting ready to start our 8th season. We're moving on to big things. We've got the podcast now. We've got new sponsorship this season.
You got us a
Um,
website.
yep, we started a website at the end of last season. We're really gonna run a lot of stuff off of that this season and going forward. That's pretty exciting. Um, yeah, that's we're just going on to bigger and better things now.
Yeah, and the whole idea of Outcast Racing League was to create a team environment. We really enjoyed at the end of the last league Anthony was talking about. They started doing teams, and it was nice to be able to work with a group of guys to strategize and practice and get better together. And we kind of carried it over into Outcast Racing League, and wouldn't change it for anything. Um, as far as talking about Season Seven, Anthony, can you tell us about the regular season champ and who won it all?
Yeah, so I think for the second time now in 7 seasons, Chris Muse won the regular season championship, which next season we will be providing a little trophy or something to recognize that they were the champion of the regular season. And that also awarded him 15 extra points going into the playoffs, which we've seen in the past in our league. Every point counts. So those 15 points are huge when it comes to the playoffs.
And he's getting close to getting the overall win with two regular season championships, but it kind of shows you that anything can happen, and it kind of boils down to that last race. I know Anthony is kind of itchy about it because he was, what was you, Anthony, like point something?
Yeah, so last season's champion was Lance Brantlinger at Daytona, and coming out of turn 4, there was a big wreck. I think he was probably like 5th or 6th in line because I was right behind him, and calamity happened coming to the line, and he was going to avoid the wreck. I was avoiding the wreck, and he beat me to the line by 0.027 seconds. So that was the second closest finish in a championship race so far in Outcast Racing League.
Yeah, I know there's been a few seasons with some real close finishes, which makes it exciting all the way down to the wire, and it looks really good for the broadcast.
Yeah,
Um,
the last three seasons were all within 5/100ths of a second. The finish, they've been wild.
so we got some fun facts about season 7. We're going to kind of bring up who was the cleanest driver as far as incident points, and we'll give you a multiple choice for who had the most incidents for the season. Anthony, do you want to talk about who was the cleanest driver?
Yeah, so the cleanest driver we had last season with the least amount of incident points, and had participated in at least 10 of our races, was CJ Jeffries. He's one of our fastest drivers. Um, he's one that's willing to always help, and if you ask him questions, he will definitely help you out the best he can. He had the least amount with, I believe it was like 74,
74.
74 incident points.
And we
Oh,
based it off everyone that had at least run 10 races. There was a few that was less than 10 races, but we started it at 10 races or more for the season. So there was a core few that was in that range. But CJ Jeffries, congratulations. You was the cleanest driver of the season. And now for who had the most incident points. Was it Anthony or was it not Anthony? We don't know.
so I'll give you the three choices. The three highest was number 31, 52, and 37. And you guys, will give you 10 seconds to guess who you think had the most incident points.
See how many of you can get it right.
Who's everybody afraid to ride around?
Think about it.
All right. So if you guessed number 37, you would be right. um,
Pull boy.
hope, hopefully, by calling him out here on the podcast, it will encourage him to think twice about some of the moves he makes. Maybe practicing some more officials to help become a cleaner driver. If you can avoid the wrecks that are in officials, because we all know they're atrocious, um, maybe it'll help you avoid some of the stuff that's happening in the league. We are a league that's willing to help people grow and learn, and that's one of the best things about it is we're all there to help each other. And in the end, yeah, we have our teams, but I could go and ask this guy on another team what he's doing, and he won't be afraid to share the information. I mean, he may not give me um, his best line or his setup or whatever, but he'll help you with some of the tips, and which is great. I love this about the league. It's a big group of just A class drivers. I love it. It keeps me excited to come back every Sunday.
So, Anthony, I guess before we move on to season 8, um, we'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that's been a part of the league for the first 7 seasons, and a warm welcome to all the new drivers joining us. The league is growing. More drivers are getting involved, whether it be donations, sponsorships, working with other drivers to try to help. The league is free to join, but definitely, sponsorships or donations. Um, a lot of people has already chipped in, and it goes a long way to help cover the cost, which we'll kind of get into that a little bit later. Um, but just wanted to say thank you before we kind of start getting into season 8. And with that, Anthony, can you kind of tell us about our sponsorships going into season 8?
Yeah, so we've got Shenko Custom Diecast, who has been doing the season championship diecast for us. He just completed Al's, which I'll pick up on my way home to New Hampshire tomorrow. He's done Mike Killenbeck's for season 6, and this season he's going to be doing Lance Brentlinger's, who won the championship for season 7, and he'll be going and doing hopefully mine this season because I want that championship. We've also got Landon CNSB, which um, he makes our shirts here. He does the team shirts for the team championship, which we also have, which I forgot to mention earlier. Elite Sim Racing won that last season, so congrats to them. But Landon C does all kinds of merchandise, makes these little Yeti mug things, hats, shirts. I mean, check out their website. If you click on their icon on our website, it'll bring you right to their merch page. Um, and new this season, we've got Williamsburg Contracting, based out of Virginia. They've come aboard and have really helped us with sponsorship this season, and I can't thank Aaron over there enough. And then, of course, Aaron, a different Aaron over at Peacemaker Broadcasting, who broadcasts our race every season. He's the best broadcaster out there.
Yeah, definitely. The sponsorship has came along. Started out with no sponsors and kind of paying everything out of pocket, and now as we grow, we've picked up sponsors, and we're very thankful for all of them. Um, as far as the tracks that we'll be running in season 8, I got them up, Anthony. I'll call out the first 8, and then you can get the rest of them. But
Sure.
starting September 15th, Sunday coming up, we got a race at Auto Club, 110 laps. September 22nd, we'll be at Nashville Super Speedway. September 29th, we'll be up there in Johnny Thunder's area at Richmond International Raceway. October 6th, we're going to be back in time, 2008, to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is where Anthony is right now. Um, October 13th, we'll be at Chicagoland Speedway. October 20th, we'll be at Las Vegas. October 27th, Indianapolis road course race for all you road course racers. Um, some of us don't fare so well on those, but got to
Yeah,
always have
I'm
one in there.
definitely not a road course racer for sure.
And then November 3rd, we'll be at Worldwide Technology, the oval track there. So, Anthony, if you want to get the rest of them.
Yep. The ninth race is going to fall on November 10th at Dover. It's a nice self-cleaning tracks. A lot of us like to run there. Um, and the final race before the cutoff for the playoffs, which only the top 16 will get in points, um, is going to be a throwback paint scheme week. We'll have Peacemaker and his viewers decide who's got the coolest looking throwback paint scheme, and maybe we'll get them out a prize or something. We're racing at Darlington And then moving on from that, we'll have our top 16 drivers and points, and we'll have the round of 12 starting at everybody's favorite track, Talladega. Um, so each round of the playoffs is only two races in our league. Starting at Talladega, hopefully you can get through that one unscathed. And then we'll go on to Phoenix. After Phoenix, we'll narrow our playoff field down to 12 drivers, and we'll run two short tracks back to back. We'll run North Wilkesboro on December 8th, a 200 lapper, and then the following week, December 16th, we'll be running Bristol Motor Speedway, another 200 lapper, and then we'll set our final eight drivers for the championship race, which will take place at Daytona. This is the first season we're doing this. It's going to be a full length 200 lap race, and we will be starting this 1 hour early. So instead of starting the race at 4 o'clock, we'll be starting the race at 3 o'clock. We'll open the lobby at 2. Race will start at 3. It's a full length 200 lap Daytona 500, and it's going to be wild. You're definitely rolling into the next section here. I'm going to want to make sure that you've got teammates out there. Teammates are huge on plate tracks, as anybody who follows NASCAR knows.
Yeah,
Um,
and talking about teams, Anthony, do you want to call out all the teams that we have currently in the league?
yeah, sure. So coming back this season is going to be Poor Boy Motorsports. It's a season that it's not a season, it's a team that's run in the past. Coming back this season, it's got myself, it's got you, it's got Chris Muse and Wayne Garland on it. Um, Quantum Motorsports is a new team this season with Johnny Thunders, Casey Gross, Adolfo Castillo, and Chad Lancaster. Elite Sim Racing has Al Reed, Rob Tuisku, Cameron Combs, and Kurt Sponsler. And new this season is Williamsburg Contracting Racing, one of our sponsors, has a team now with CJ Jeffries, Colton Manich, our season 6 champion Mike Killenbeck, and a new driver to the league, Kevin Kazar. Returning with the same team this season as last, Midwest Motorsports with Corey Crowell, Joshua Neal, Brennan Puffenbarger, and Austin John Smith. And a returning name, but I believe it's a completely new team, um, Misfits Racing with James Garland, Tyler Humphreys, who's coming back to the league. He raced with us in season 1 and I think part of season 2, and then his work schedule wouldn't allow him to race with us. Dean Sheesby and last season's playoff champion Lance Brantlinger. We still have quite a list of free agents out there, so if anybody's looking to create a team, um, please send me a message. Let me know. I can get that organized before Sunday's race. We will not be. You're only allowed to change your team once per season, and then you end up on the free agent list. But
And of course, after season or the eighth race, I believe it is, there's no changing of the, or adding to the teams.
correct, right,
But just so everybody knows, it's kind of the atmosphere for ORL is teams. And if you're not on a team, I promise you, your season will be a lot funner being on a team and probably see improvement, working with guys and stuff. Um, and with that, I'm not going to get into the rules terribly. There has been some updates. There has been changes, and we will know if you read the rules or not. If you don't read the rules, um, you won't be allowed to race. And it's pretty simple. If you read the rules, you'll know what to do. So that's kind of where the rules are. I don't want to bore you out with it. And as the season go, we may dig into different sections of the rules and kind of go over if people don't understand. And if you do read them and you don't understand them, admins Anthony Garland, Josh Brumfield, Al Reed, Casey, Johnny Thunders. Anybody can assist you with the rules, go over the rules with you. Um, just need to read them. So, Anthony, do you want to kind of talk about where the podcast is going and if people want to be a part of it? And
Yeah. So obviously, this is our first podcast. We're going to be doing this weekly. We would like to get uh, team, like the whole team on here. Um, Individual drivers, past champions, sponsors. We've got. I've already spoke with Aaron, our broadcaster. We're going to get him on here. But if you're looking to schedule something to get onto the podcast with us, because we got to schedule this out, um, you can email us at Outcast Racing League ORL at gmail.com, and we can we can work through it to get it scheduled. You can reach out to us on Discord if you're in the league. Um, yeah, I'm excited. This is one of the big new things is the podcast, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah, and it's like anything. It's like our league, and you know, as we do it, it'll get better. And we would love to have each and every one of you join. Whether you want to talk about the flowers and the bees outside, or some good old racing, you know, just good fun. Um, so Also, we kind of talked about it before. The podcast will be shown on the website. We'd like to encourage everyone to go to the website. Every week, it'll be updated with news and possibly the big crashes and the helicopter awards and whatever else. Um, Standings, all that stuff. We have enjoyed building it, Anthony and myself, and we're going to try to keep it up to date. And you know, um, Anthony, I guess you want to tell people how they could support us, support the league if they want to. I know the majority has, but
Yeah, so if you go to our website, I believe it's the last page on our website. There's a few links there. Um, if you want to donate to the league, it's not an inexpensive thing to do. Um, I know Williamsburg coming on helps us a lot with the cost of broadcasting, but it costs us well over $1,000 each season to run this, and you know today's economy is not the greatest, so it's hard for everyone. But we appreciate everyone who can help. Um, we get the team shirts, the shirts that
got a
like
flag.
this is not a team shirt. This is a shirt that I hand out to the drivers who participate in all 15 races throughout the season. I know life gets busy and people do miss races, but for the people who do show up to every race, I like to thank them and give them a reward for showing up every week. So I have these shirts done up um, by Landon C and Chad Lancaster down there. Um, but yeah, our website should have like a PayPal or a Venmo or whatever if you guys want to donate to that. Or if you guys want to bring on new sponsorship that'll help us out, that'd be great. You could again reach out to me on Discord or through the email address that we'll have posted here. It's also posted on the website.
And final, I would like to thank Anthony for making the long drive to come down there to Georgia to go camping at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It was kind of nice to watch his driver ride at the back of the pack all day, but we had a good time. And Daytona in February. I know there's a bunch of us going to be getting together, and hopefully, as we go, more people will get together. And yeah, on Discord, we have the casual encounter section, and I know this February, I think all the admins are going to be at Daytona, so that should be interesting. And we'll drink some Turdy Tree pints or liters, and we're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff. There's always a party at Daytona, so
What happens in Daytona stays in Daytona,
that's
kind of.
right. Kind of, yeah. We'll leave it there, but so some of the stuff cannot go on casual encounters. We'll just put it that way. But anywho, we're glad that everybody watched the podcast, and I guess we're going to do our promo video again to get everybody's engines revving, and we'll let you know when the new podcast is, and hopefully one of you will be on it.
Yep.
All right.
I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Kurt Sponsler for providing us
I
with this
forgot.
hype video.
Yes, Kurt Sponsler made this video, and it is awesome. So sit back and watch the promo, and enjoy. We'll talk at y'all next week.